We're recording in 3, 2, we are live. All right, good evening, guys. This is Monica Lopez and Arlyn Pino, and tonight we're bringing you a live interactive webinar we have called Tell, Don't Sell. Now, I want to make something really clear first off, like the first thing I want to talk to you guys about. I think that title may be a little deceiving. I think what you may be thinking when you hear Tell, Don't Sell is it's like maybe selling's a bad thing, or a bad word, or an icky feeling, right? I want you to know right now, I'm going to give you permission to stop feeling that way. Just because we sell as coaches, right? There's products that we use to connect with people. It's the tools we use to change lives. There's absolutely nothing wrong with earning your commission. You earned it. There should be no shame behind selling to the next person because you have something of value, and we're providing value to people. And the most beautiful part I think about coaching is that we don't just sell a product and walk away. We sell a product and then we begin a relationship. We begin a journey with our customers. And you should not be ashamed for 1 second because you're earning a commission off of your work. So now that we got that out of the way, I wanted to make sure that nobody's getting that icky feeling of, oh, I don't know about, earning what I'm doing as a coach. But what I will say, and what I will agree to personally, is that I just don't like selling. I just don't like the feeling of posting about a sale or telling someone, buy this, I'll give you a free gift if you do, or this is, like just chasing people is just not me. It doesn't make me feel good. What makes me feel good is helping someone. When I get that text message, oh my God, I can't believe I fit into my pre-pregnancy pants. Or, oh my God, I can't believe the paycheck I just got as a coach. Like, how did I do that? This is amazing. Or, oh my God, I can't believe Shakeology is making me feel this way. I haven't felt this great in a long time. Those are the things that are really fulfilling for me, and I'm sure a lot of you feel that same way. And so when you start to earn those paychecks, it's almost like that's just an added bonus. What you're getting back, the feedback you're getting as a coach is what you're really going to feel good about and what's really going to continue to drive you. So what we want to teach to you guys tonight is something that Arlyn and I kind of figured out along the way because we made a lot of mistakes as brand new coaches. I know I did. I did a lot of the things that I'm going to teach you tonight that are not such great ideas, that are not going to get you very far. They're going to start to feel icky and they may be emotionally draining. But what we have figured out is when you stop and you really dig into who you are, what your value is, and you start putting, like it's almost like it's effortless because you're putting out exactly who you are. And when you do that, it no longer feels icky. It no longer feels scary. It no longer feels like something that is unnatural. You're going to learn that you're going to be your complete, raw self, and you're going to thrive because of it. And I know that a lot of you guys are on this call right now saying, but wait a minute, like I have nothing to offer. I'm just a regular old person. Like I'm boring. Who raise your hand if you think that you're boring? I used to think so too. I swear I used to think so until, along the way, the different trainings that I've done. And that's why we want to do this with you guys tonight. I started, with the help of people around me, started digging a little deeper. And when you start to dig a little deeper, you realize we all have tremendous value. You're not boring. You're just not looking in the right places. And here's the thing. It's kind of like that quote that says, you're so used to looking at yourself, you don't see how beautiful you are because you're just looking at the same face every day. It's the same thing. You're living the life every day. You haven't taken a minute to stop, look back and say, wow, like X, Y, and Z has really made me who I am. And had it not been for that, I wouldn't be where I am today. And then you learn to embrace it and tell your story. So we want to help you do that tonight, okay? So that is the purpose of our live workshop tonight. We're going to get down and dirty, guys. You guys are going to have to dig deep, tap into that emotional self of yours. The more honest and real you are with yourself tonight is going to determine what you get out of this. And it's going to be scary. There's going to be parts that are going to be scary because when we did this in the Keys living room, it was scary and it got emotional. But unless you do that, you're not going to fully get what we are here to help you get, okay? I'm reading GoPro right now. Raise your hand if you've read GoPro. Awesome. This is like my 4th or 5th time going through GoPro, and I'll tell you what, now that I'm listening to it all over again, I probably have not revisited it for 2 years. I've been a coach for 5 years. I haven't revisited it in 2 years, but I'm getting so much out of it. And if you read GoPro, you know that Eric Worre talks about when you talk to somebody, right, a prospect that is intrigued with what you're doing and interested, he tells you how you have to have a series of follow-up exposures, right? Something that, so that doesn't feel so icky where you're like texting someone, so did you think about it yet? Or, so are you going to do it yet? Like, are you making the decision? Are you committing? Instead, you're following up with like an exposure, maybe a video, maybe a third-party tool, maybe, there's so many ways that you can follow up. Well, I want to tell you guys that if you're running your social medias, because let's be real, everybody and their mamas and their grandmas. I even have una bisabuela. A bisabuela is a great grandma. I even have a great grandma on Facebook in our family. Okay, so everybody is on Facebook or Instagram. If you're running your Instagram and your social media on point, right, and you're constantly doing your job there of exposing who you are, those exposures are going to be happening without, you're going to handle a lot of people and sending out those exposures to a lot of people at one time. So this is a great way. If you follow GoPro and you understood what he said, once you got off that phone with that prospect and you left her with her saying, oh, let me think about it. Let me talk to my husband. I'm not sure. She's following up the next morning and she's seeing you energetic. She's seeing you posting your workout. She's seeing what you're doing. And those things are going to be the next exposure she needs to hear. So it is important. And then like jab, 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 right hook, like we always talk about. Give to get. When you finally do come and ask for that sale, it is okay to ask for the sale. It's okay to invite to your challenge group. It is okay to invite to your team. It's okay to recruit people to join you. That is what we're about. Like if you're not inviting, then you're actually not being a good coach. You're not, following your vital behaviors. But when we do those things, people are going to be more inclined to say yes to us because they're going to feel like they know us. All right. So without further ado, before we get into the exercise and everything, let me tell you a little bit more about myself. That's about tonight's webinar, but let me tell you about myself. My name is Monica Lopez. I've been a coach for about 5 years now. You may or may not know, but Cristina Delgado was actually my boss in my old life. I call it my old life because I retired myself 3 years ago from our law office that we worked at. We worked at a very prestigious law firm in Miami, Florida, in downtown Miami, and she was my boss. And obviously you guys know the story that Becky made her buy Shakeology so that she could go Emerald. It's the truth. Christina was against it, and she's like, okay, fine, I'll just do it to shut up my sister. And then when Christina, obviously, her eyes started to widen with what Shakeology did for her. When she started her business, she in turn threatened me to buy Shakeology too. I had no choice. She was my boss. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But here I am 5 years later. I've been with the girls since the beginning of Diesel Nation. Actually, back when we were, oh my God, what was our name before?
Diesel Sisters.
Oh my God, I even forgot the name. Sister Diesel, Team Sister Diesel, TSD. We were TSD. God, I even forgot about that. And I've been with them since then. But 3 years ago, I took the leap of faith. And I, just like tonight, what we're going to do with you, I've done this enough to know exactly what led me to this moment. I grew up overweight, so I suffered a lot with that. I suffered with bullying. I suffered with getting teased. At the age of 13, 14, in middle school, just to escape wearing a leotard in dance class, I joined weight training with the boys. I learned how to work out. I gained confidence. I gained control at that age, and I've been a gym rat since. I never had a problem with weight after that until I started having kids. And then that was a whole other. And then that's what led me into Beachbody. I started going to the gym after baby number 1, but when baby number 2 and 3 came, getting to the gym wasn't so easy. And I gave Beachbody workouts a shot. I started drinking Shakeology after I was almost killed. I'm just joking. But I did these things, and that's what got me to actually give Beachbody a shot. But it wasn't until a life-changing moment, which I'm not going to go into detail, but my daughter was born with a health condition. And when my back was against the wall as a mother, that's when I said, I need to make something happen. And that's when I had the balls to go all in, because I started to say, you know what? I've got a problem, and this is a solution. This is going to save me. It's going to save my family. And here we are. 3 years later, full-time coach, thriving, loving every second of it. It isn't always rainbows and butterflies, but it is the biggest blessing of my life. And I will fight hard for it to continue to share it with anybody who is ready. So that's me in a nutshell. I'm going to pass it on to Arlene so she can tell you a little bit about her.
Wow, after that intro, I don't even know what to say. Well, my name is Arlene Pino, and I'm part of Christina Delgado's team as well. I've been a coach for a little over 2 years. When I signed up, I was 30 weeks pregnant, so I was not proof of the product. The reason that I signed up to be a coach was because when I gave birth to my first baby, I was very skeptic about Beachbody. I would see people on the news feed on Facebook posting about their eggs and their Shakeology and their workouts, and I would just roll my eyes and be like, who cares? So that was after having my first baby. I started seeing people having results, like other moms that were pregnant at the same time as me were having amazing results, and I was still feeling like a flabby mom, no energy, and just feeling self-conscious about myself. 9 months later, I got pregnant again with Mia Bella. So I knew I had to do something about my health and my fitness and my energy, and I didn't want to get back into depression. So I kept on following Christine and all the other coaches, and I was hiding behind the screen. Finally, at 30 weeks pregnant, I bought my challenge pack. I signed up as a coach, and I let my package just collect dust until I popped the baby out and got ready to work on my transformation. At the beginning as a coach, I did all the mistakes that everyone does. I would put on Facebook, buy this now, buy it now, amazing sales. I would copy and paste pictures from Google. I look back to my Facebook memories and it was tacky. It was like, oh, like I wish I could redo it again. But that's what got me to where I am today. I kept on learning and figuring out what was going on with my business to push it forward. I was into the business for a couple of months, went back to work, leaving 2 babies behind. And that's when it hit me. Like, I don't want to be a mom that has a career, has a husband, has a house, and has 2 babies and has to balance it all and still put on a happy face. I was very depressed. I was very sad. Even though my heart was in teaching, when I became a mom, my priorities changed. I went back into teaching after my maternity leave, and I ran into Christina's house, hardly even knew the lady, opened her door, sat at her counter, started crying, and she looked at me like I was crazy, like, okay, do you want Shakeology? Do you want coffee? What do you need? And I'm like, I want to be home with my babies. And she's like, all right, let's do this. What's stopping you? And I started crying, and I'll be honest with you, it was social media that freaked me out. I went from never having Facebook, never having Instagram, no social media at all. And Christina pretty much gave me some tough love and told me, you want to be home with your babies? You need to figure out social media. I had to get out of my comfort zone. And if you follow me on social media, like, I put everything on social media now. Granted, you share what you want people to know. You don't share everything, but now I feel comfortable with social media. That was November 2014. That's when I realized that I wanted to do this full time. All of 2015, I hustled. I worked hard. I learned the business inside out. And as of June 24th, 2016, I retired from teaching, and I'm a full-time Beachbody coach. I get excited every time I say that. And here I am, rocking this call with Monica Lopez, 2-time elite coach, which she didn't say. Yeah, rock star status over there. I'm a 2-star diamond coach. I'm a retired teacher, and I am here to rock this call with Monica. I'm excited. So back to you.
Love it, love it, love it. All right, so that's a little bit about Arlene and rockstar status. Listen, Elite's amazing. It's a team effort. So when people say that, it's almost like, but it wasn't me. It wasn't just me. It was like a rockstar team. So, but thank you for that. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what we're doing in this workshop, okay? And again, get your note cards ready, your index cards. We're gonna help you guys get from surface level sharing to digging deep, okay? Because a lot of times what you see, especially in newer coaches, and Arlene just touched on it, and I did it too. We used to get a stock photo of Shakeology and be like, healthiest meal of the day, message me if you're interested. You know, or we would get like a sale price. Oh my God, 21-day fix, and like blasted with a big old $140, like really big in red. Bad. All those things just scream like buy, right? We realized you had to get a little bit deeper on who you are and actually learn that the brand is you. It's not Shakeology. It's not the workouts. It's you. When we started plastering our face instead of the products, things started to change. The response from people was better. All right. And a lot of you guys maybe have found that out for yourselves already. But that's like really surface level. But then I see coaches go a little bit deeper where, yes, they start putting their face, but then they stop breadcrumbing who they are. And you must constantly be breadcrumbing a little bit about yourself in everything you do, and a little bit about your journey and the things about you that others are going to connect with. And so that's what we want to do. We want to help you guys now go from there a little bit deeper to where you're picking probably, I would say, 3 things outside of Beachbody that people would say, oh, that's you, that's Arlene. We know teacher Arlene. We know Pink, we know Arlene. We know 2 girls, Arlene. We know Firecracker, Arlene. Those are things because Arlene's done a really great job of making those things about her. You want people to know different things about you that automatically is like, oh, that's Shay. I know that because that's Shay. And so that's what we want to create. And we want to create an atmosphere where that exposure is constantly happening. You're getting out there and telling your story, just breadcrumbing a little piece of it and a little bit more. And you're constantly telling the same story in a different way. And you're constantly getting out there and really having an eye for the things in your life that to you right now may seem like everyday things, right? But someone else needs to hear that story. Like today, I've been home now for three years. Okay, I've had 3 summers with my kids. Thankfully, I'm so thankful to God for that. But today I stopped and I was like, I am right now I had a breakfast with my kids and I've got a manicure with my daughter. And I remember the days behind my cubicle wishing I could do that. And I stopped and took a minute to write about it, okay? I could have just put that I was having a manicure with my daughter. I could have just done that. But I didn't. I took the opportunity to leverage the fact that once upon a time, this meant everything to me. And somebody out there was doing it and I was wishing it was me. And it was a goal that I had set a long time ago. And then here I am. I want to pay that forward to someone. I want them to know it's possible for them too, because once upon a time it wasn't possible for me and I made it possible. So that's the exercise tonight and what we want to help you do. Now, before Arlene gets into the exercise, I do want to tell you guys a couple of, I guess, do's and don'ts, you can call them. First thing is that when we start getting into this and telling stories and really digging deeper in your posts, guys, it doesn't mean that every single post has to be a book. And I see that happen sometimes. Then we get writing happy and every post that comes out is like 5 paragraphs long. And what happens is that it starts to be too much. Like then people are not going to stop and take the time to read your stuff. So it doesn't have to be every post, okay? You can still have those funny one-liners. You can still put out jokes. You can still put out something and simply put an emoji. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is that take the opportunities when they present themselves and when it's appropriate to share a little bit more about you. If you're holding your Shakeology cup and sharing about your Shakeology, and Arlene's going to go into detail on a lot of these, there's a way to dig a little bit deeper than just saying breakfast, have a great day. Okay? 2, it's sometimes not all about what you say either. It's about the visual you add to your story. Visuals are everything, okay? They speak 1,000 words that you don't have to say sometimes. So I also want to push you guys, after tonight, we're going to do a lot of stuff on telling your story, but remember that the photo that you use, especially like on Instagram, that's very visual, or on Facebook, the live videos that you do, the clearer your video is, right? The better lighting that there is, or on your photos, if it's a food picture, the nicer it is, and it's not all gloomy and looks like slop. The more presentable your selfie is, your profile picture, all those things. They may seem dumb, but they're important details, because that's going to create that where you look like you are putting time into what you're doing versus rushing and just sort of sloppy, okay? And that picture, that sometimes a picture can say way more words than anything you could write. I'm thinking right now, like one of my coaches, Nina did a post while we were, where were we? We were on vacation somewhere. Oh, we were at Summit. And she did a picture where she wrapped a hotel towel around herself. And she took this selfie in the mirror. Now, Lena has lost about 80 pounds on her journey so far, okay? And she told this story on how once upon a time, she was unable to ever wrap a towel around her and fold it and it stay because the towels never fit her. That visual will never leave me. I think of Nina, I think of that towel in that selfie, in that bathroom, in that hotel room. So those visuals you put out are just as important as the story you're telling, okay? So I want you to keep that in mind also. And then lastly, I want you to keep in mind, oh gosh, I'm sure everybody's gonna raise their hand when I say, is there a time you poured your heart and soul into something you were writing or telling or sharing, and then you put it out into the universe and you got like 2 likes and you thought you were a complete failure? Right? Yeah, like I've been there, and I've been there all over again on my like page because I'm trying to build that thing that I never took the time to build before. So on my personal page, I have, already have the trust of my fans, not my fans, that's the wrong word, because the fans is on like page, on your friends and your followers on Instagram, and it's called fans on the like page. But I've built that on my personal, and then on my like page, it's like crickets, and it's like, oh my God, it's like making my heart ache. But you have to know better that I just said it. I built the trust on one. I haven't done it yet on the other. It doesn't mean I'm any less of a person or less interesting or any kind of loser or anything. It's just time. It's time and really getting out there and getting people to know you and continue to follow you and start to interact with you. All right. So don't think you're a big fat loser if you get 2 or 3 likes. Know that you're basically planting seeds and it will grow. I can find you a picture because I recycle transformation pictures all the time, right? I could find you the same transformation picture I posted 3 years ago to what I'll post now, and I'll get way more interaction. And it's only because I've put more time in and I've interacted with more people, and I now have people that trust and follow my journey. And you will too. But you absolutely won't if you stop. Okay, so that's another thing that I want to make sure that I implant in you guys tonight, to understand that just because it doesn't explode because you put your heart into it right now, one day it will. Keep going. All right, so that's all I'll say. I'm going to pass it over to Arlene, which now it's when you get out your index card, and she's going to lead us through the exercise.
Thank you for that, Monica. Okay, so this exercise is a lot of fun. You are going to get deep. Like she said, when we were in the Keys, a lot of us were in tears. A lot of us felt confused that we were not putting our brands out there. I'm going to explain to you how the assignment works. There's 62 of you on the call, so we cannot have everyone share their card. But we're going to explain how the assignment is, and maybe you can partner up with someone else and evaluate each other, okay? The index card is supposed to describe you. For example, in my index card, I'm going to give you a couple of things that I wrote, okay? I wrote things like, I love pink. I love wearing tutus. I love bows. I love headbands. I love glitter. I am spoiled. I have no patience. I am not a good listener. I have babies. I'm a retired teacher. I love tacos. I love champagne. I'm scared of driving. I'm attached to my grandfather. So those are just certain things that I can throw out at you, that if you were to go to my Facebook or my Instagram, you could scroll just once and one of those things will pop up. Whether it's a humor thing about eating tacos every day, or a deep post how I'm terrified of driving. Do I post about it every day? No, but I touch base here and there. I'll wear a headband for all my workouts. So right there, I'm targeting part of my fashion sense. My girls come out at least once a day. I might mention how I'm changing lives, and it's the same thing as when I was a teacher. So that's how I've created my brand. It's still a work in progress. I'm still getting used to being so exposed and sharing so much and getting deep with it. So I'm going to share with you what you're supposed to write on this card. In the front of I don't remember how we did the front and the back, but I'm just going to throw it out there. Share things. Share the good things about you. Share the bad, the ugly things, the things that make you cry, your hobbies. I know we think beach bodies are life, but if you think about it, it's not, and that's why they say to make Beachbody 20% of your social media and your real life, the other 80%. Your favorite color. Are you spoiled, or do you spoil people? Do you like being pleased, or are you a people pleaser? Do you like riding bike as a hobby? Talk about your family. Are you from divorced parents? Were you adopted? Do you have babies, but you've always thought of adopting a baby? Are you all about dogs? Do you have a hard time getting pregnant? And fitness is the way to get your mind off of it. I'm telling you, we're going to get deep into this, okay? So get ready to get raw. Do you like dancing, or do you suck at dancing? what were you in high school? Were you a cheerleader? Were you a band guy? Were you, did you drive to school? Did you go in the bus and people would make fun of you? Like, think of you before Beachbody. Think of you now at Beachbody, and think of who you want to be in the future. Like, my dream is to own a house in the Keys or in Bimini. So every so often I'll post about vacation homes. Post about that. Post about your future self. What else? What kind of parent are you? Are you like a strict parent that your kids are in bed by 7:30? Or are you a parent like me that gives cookie for dinner sometimes because I don't want to listen to the tantrum? Write about the type of parent that you are. Maybe you don't have kids and you have nieces that you get to spoil and send back home to your sister's house. Write about that. So right now we're going to give you, I think we had agreed on 5 minutes. It's 9:30. You have till 9:35 to fill this index card front and back with things that describe you. Okay? Go. Are you a dance mom, a baseball mom? Sorry, I'm going to be speaking out loud things because I'm looking at your faces and I'm thinking out loud. Was your dream to be a ballerina? My dream was to be a ballerina. I need to post about that. So I think that's why I wear tutus now all the time. And Monica, if you could think of anything else, jump right in. Maybe I missed something.
Think about where your family came from, your family background, what made you who you are today, how you landed here, if you came from another country. What else? How it was in school. Were you a good student, a bad student? Did you struggle with making friends? Are you an introvert, an extrovert? Get raw with yourself too. Do you have patience? Are you selfish? Ask yourself those questions. I did.
And let me piggyback on that. When I did this index card, I realized like I am selfish and I was an only child for 11 years. And now when I got that off my chest, I feel like freedom. Like, I feel like that's right. I am selfish. And what? Like, that's part of me. Like, that's who Arlene is. So once you accept who you are, it's like, oh, like you feel so much better. And I feel like your business is going to change drastically because you're being real. You're not trying to be something that you're not. Okay, one more thing, because now my brain is like, all my creative juices are flowing. Think of something that you hate in your life. For example, for me, it was very hard before. I hated that I was not around for my girls. Like, to me, that's what would anger me. That's what would make me cry. So I had to get creative with how I would post. But now I get to write about that. Like, I don't get to miss my girl's first hug in the morning or things like that. So think of what right now angers you and how Beachbody is the solution to what angers you. Maybe what angers you is that you can't fit into those jeans that you bought last month. So how does Beachbody help you? You know that every time you push play, it's going to help you. So write that. Write things that anger you or things that make you the happiest ever.
One more minute, guys. 1 minute mark.
Alrighty, so we gave you an extra minute. It's 9:36. So pens down. I know we're excited now because now's when your juices started flowing, but we have to keep on rolling. And we're going to explain to you how you're going to apply what you wrote in your future posts. So we're going to go over some do's and don'ts. Okay, so that's where we're at, right, Monica? Okay. One thing that I want to share with you, I had learned this in one of the trainings when I first signed on. Don't repost. I'm going to give you several examples about this. If somebody posts, I'm starting a webinar of coaching opportunity, don't repost it, because all you're doing is giving people to that other coach. Or if your coach is hosting a call for welcoming people to the coaching business, don't say my coach is so amazing, she's doing this. Say our team is hosting a webinar to show you all about this coaching life. Okay. Another thing, if you find out, and I know this is going to sound weird, but if you find something funny on Facebook or some depressing news on the news, don't repost it. Everyone else on your news feed is reposting it. You want to add value to your social media. As it is, people already think that we're posting a lot because we're sharing about our life and our journey with Beachbody. You don't want to add things that are not going to add value to your business. Okay, so I just had to get that off my chest. Do's and don'ts. Shakeology. I know we get excited. We get our Shakeology cup. We take selfies. I do it all the time. Here's the thing. If you just put healthiest meal of the day, like, people are going to be like, so what? Or they could Google, what is Shakeology? Healthiest meal of the day. Add value to your shake. How is it that Shakeology comes into your life? Think of who you are. Are you a busy mom? I mean, all moms are busy, but you know what I mean. Are your kids in extracurricular activities? Do you work 2 jobs? Are you a single mom? Is your job very stressful? How is it that Shakeology comes into the picture to make you a better person? I'm going to give you an example. As a teacher, it was very exhausting to be a teacher, a mom, a coach, a wife. So I would always put Shakeology, what gives me the fuel that I need to get out of my job and go be a mom, wife, and coach. Or I woke up feeling a little sick. My immune system is a little low because I'm a teacher. Shakeology to the rescue, because it's going to boost my immune system. So do you see how I don't just say Shakeology, healthiest meal of the day. I would give examples of how it goes into my lifestyle. If you travel a lot because you're a pharmaceutical rep and you're traveling from office to office, you can put that, like, I'm always going to luncheons. They always order fat and, non-healthy food. Thank God that I have my shake to be with me while everyone else is eating unhealthy. So put Shakeology into your lifestyle. Okay, your daughter's in ballet. I'm sitting here late at night. I get those sweet tooth craving. One of the moms brought donuts. I have Shakeology here. I'm not going to backtrack my goals. Okay, you see how I'm saying about Shakeology? If you look at your Shakeology bag, in the back, it shows every ingredient that's in the shake. And it explains what each ingredient does to your body. Pick an ingredient a day. Now, you don't want to be an encyclopedia. Like, you don't want to be like, this green is used for XYZ because they went into the jungle and they did it. Like, you don't want to sound robotic either. You could put something like, I'm so excited. I just found out that Shakeology has XYZ ingredient, which helps with blood pressure. And being that my family has a history of high blood pressure, I'm being proactive about my health because I don't want to be having to monitor my blood pressure. This delicious treat that I drink every day is keeping me healthy and long around for my babies. Make it about your kids too, about your family, about your future family. Okay. Workouts. I know it sounds silly, but I've had workouts before that make me cry of happiness. When I did T25, when I first started, I did the modified moves with Tanya for like a good year. Like, I was the person that would pause every 5 seconds, out of breath. Like, I would cry of how unhappy I was that I couldn't keep up and how much I wanted to quit. When I did T25, I did a couple of them in the spring, and I didn't have to modify the moves. Look, I get chills. And I was able to do everything with Shanti, now with Tanya. I started crying. And I remember Sophie, my daughter, was like, why are you crying? And Bino was like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, you don't understand. Like, I didn't have to modify anything. And I ran to my phone and I put a deep post about that. I just finished crying with my workout. I know people used to say this and I thought they were weird, but I just felt that emotion that got attached to my workout. Because when I did this workout when I was in, and then you go back to your story, not everyone knows why you started Beachbody. And I explained it like that. So I know a lot of times we work out and we're like sweating, Like, okay, people know you're sweating, like you're dripping sweat in the picture. And I mean, I've done this before. I'm not saying anyone specific, but why are you sweating? Maybe you could say I had a rough day at work and I'm releasing my stress with my workout. I feel amazing. And now I can tackle whatever my day gives to me. Personal development, that's part of your 4 vital behaviors. As you're working out, if you listen to personal development before, during, or after, use quotes from your personal development for your workout. Like, it doesn't all have to be that your post is about your workout. It could be a picture of you working out. Like Monica says, a picture is worth 1,000 words, so they know you worked out. So put something motivational in there. You know, the most successful, like something like the most successful people don't give up on their dreams. You know, my dream is to be able to rock that bikini next summer, and I'm not going to give up on myself. So you're doing 2 things at once. You're exposing 2 of your vital behaviors. Okay. Invites could be very creative. I know we get very caught up with, I need 5 people right now that want to look good next summer. I have an incentive going on. I do it all the time. I get it. Get creative with it. If you could go ahead and put a transformation picture and put how that person inspired you. You don't have to put, I'm so proud. Yeah, it's good to be proud of your people and the transformation, but how is it that transformation has inspired you as a coach and as a person? So you could put, wow, look at Jenny's transformation. It inspires me so much when busy moms go out there and they go for what they want and they don't forget that they're human too. It's moms like this that make me want to get up every day and work out. And then the next line could be, if you're a mom and you have a lot in common with Jennifer and you have extracurricular activities for your kids and you feel lost, let's talk about your goals. I want to help you feel like that energetic mom. You're not talking about Shakeology. You're not talking about 21 Day Fix, because they could go on and Google what the 21 Day Fix is. You're talking about how you can build that relationship with them. You care about their goals and you want to help them feel good about themselves. So get creative with your invites. It's going to add a lot of value to your social media. What else? Those are the do's and don'ts. I think I've been mixing them. I'm sorry. I get very excited when I talk about these things. Okay. Try to get a schedule. For a long time, I had it implanted in my head. I knew that when I would wake up, it was a motivational quote with my workout. 2 hours later, it would be my Shakeology. Like, I had it like tattooed into my brain. And then I realized a lot of my newer coaches, they're still adapting to this. So if you create a schedule, write it out, whether it's on a Post-it or notepad on your phone or on your notebook. Write a schedule so that it can keep you organized. And my husband actually gave me the idea. He's like, take out the calendar and write what you're going to post throughout the week. Maybe week 1 and week 2, you're just focused on inviting to challenge groups. Week 3 and week 4, you're just focused on inviting to the coaching opportunity. Organize yourself, okay? This way you don't feel lost and you don't start missing on posts. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. Like, Mondays are motivational Mondays. Never miss a Monday. I know everyone posts that. Get creative with it. So put your workout or you drinking your Shakeology with a motivational quote below it. Tuesday, everyone puts Transformation Tuesday. I put Spotlight Tuesday or things like that. So maybe on Tuesday, do put transformation pictures of either someone in your team or yourself or one of your challengers. Wednesdays, for a while, I called it Wow Wednesday. And it would be something that wowed me. Like, maybe one of my coaches did something amazing. I'll put Wow Wednesday. Check on Monica. She just changed 4 lives in the first month of her being a coach. So it's about getting creative with the wording. Throwback Thursday. I just started doing this last week and I missed it today. Do throwback things about how Beachbody has changed you. For example, before Beachbody, I was like, didn't have extra money to do like certain fun things. So sometimes on Throwback Thursdays, I'll put, I remember before Beachbody XYZ. I remember before Beachbody, I would do crazy diets. Throwback Thursday to the time that I did the cookie diet. Or if you've already been on Beachbody trips, you could just, like last week I put a picture of me on the cruise, just chilling by the pool. And I put Throwback Thursday to the time that I earned a free vacation on board the Oasis of the Seas. I'm thankful for Beachbody giving me these opportunities to travel with my husband. So it's like you're giving them a taste of what it's like to be a Beachbody coach, and you're using those phrases that people use on social media, but using Beachbody. What else? I'm trying to think. Friday, you could do Flex Friday. People do that all the time. You could do Flashback Friday. How were you before Beachbody? Saturday, if you're home and you're not working, you could get creative with your posts. Like, oh, I'm enjoying my coffee. I'm not in my cubicle. I'm actually enjoying my coffee in my balcony. Thinking of the day that I could do this on a daily basis and not just on Saturdays. Okay. Sunday's a really good day to get deep with it. You could have fun, post pictures of you and your family. You want to start putting, like, maybe throw in a transformation picture like at 5 p.m. Around that time, people are at family barbecues. So if they're on social media, they're like, look at this Monica chick. Look what she just posted. Oh, what is that? I don't know. Let's get on her page. And you get audience into your page. And put a deep post like at 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And by doing that, that's around the time that people are getting ready for the week. And they start thinking that tomorrow's Monday and they want to start a healthy lifestyle. They don't know what to do. And that's when you pop up. Okay. There was something else I wanted to share with the deep posts. Monica, if you have any other ideas and you want to jump in. With social media and tagging, when you put people on the spotlight, like your challengers, put them on the spotlight and just tag them. And when you tag them, everyone in their network is going to see it and they're going to cheer them on. And when they see that, they're going to be like, wow, who's this Monica lady that keeps on just being so positive about other people? Like, she just cares about helping people. A, you're going to add audiences to your network. And B, you're going to give your challenger an opportunity to see that they are impacting other people's lives and inspiring them. And that's when they're going to want to come in and be a coach. That's when you're going to come in with the opportunity.
Awesome. Oh my God. Just with hearing you right now, Arlene, like other things popped into my head that I could start doing. Like, oh my God, I haven't done that in a while. Oh, I haven't done that in a while. So I love it. See, this is exactly what we want to help you guys do. Maybe some of this you've heard before. Maybe all of it you've heard before. But you forgot to do it, right? Or you've been meaning to do it and you just haven't gotten organized. You haven't gotten systematic and you haven't gotten intentional with creating a schedule, like Arlene first mentioned. So that's what we really want to highlight tonight and help you do. And guess what? If you're on this call and you never even thought of those things, great, then we really help you tonight. But I want to share with you guys one other thing that I've been doing that helps me keep really, sorry guys, I have a light here that's not working out and I completely rigged this thing over here that keeps falling. On my phone, I started a note on the notes section, a list. And I don't know if you guys can see this now that I have this super bright light. No, you can't. Okay, but anyway, here on my notes section of my phone, there is a list of ideas. This list is, if I'm looking at it real quick, it looks like maybe 15 to 20 different topics that I have not yet shared. I have not yet shared about my mom being an entrepreneur mom, that all my life she's been working her butt off and she's opened a gazillion businesses all by herself. I haven't talked yet about my story that I told you guys about the weight training versus dance class. The fact that I became a mom at 20 and never really went clubbing, and now when I get to go clubbing, I go all crazy. You may have been around for one of those before. A lot of different things. Right now, I actually have even a post about Amy, one of my coaches on this call, who just went diamond today. Whoop, whoop. But Amy shared with me in tears, how she explained to her son that she's working so hard late at night, every night lately, because she promises she's going to be in the parent pickup lane one day to get him. Like, I have that written down because just like Arlene said, hearing Amy say that to me did two things for me. It reminded me why what I do is so damn awesome. And two, it relit in me like, okay, I have a power. I have power. What I have has power to change a little kid's life, just like it's going to happen for Amy and her family. So those are things that I write them down. I write them down because oftentimes I've learned in all of my years, especially being a coach 5 years now. And this is why not that I picked Arlene, but I asked Arlene to do this call with me. I was like, Arlene, you know what? We were in Summit. We shared a cab. We were very intoxicated, but we shared a cab going back to the hotel. And we just started like talking, and she started pulling stuff out of me. She's like, why haven't you shared that? Why don't you talk about that? Why don't you do this? And I'm like, she's right. She's right. But the problem is that I did it like hard for a long time. And here I am 5 years later into this, telling the same story. And sometimes, like I said, we look in the mirror, we don't realize how beautiful we are because we're sick of looking at the same face, right? I've been telling the same story, and sometimes it gets hard to find new ways to tell it. Or maybe I feel like everybody's heard it, but I never know the new set of eyes that are coming out, like on to my stuff. So she really reignited me on that idea of you need to get systematic and organized with your thoughts, because it could stay up here, and the biggest mistake you can make is keeping it up here and never executing it out. So I would urge you guys to start whatever works for you. For me, the phone works great because every time I'm doing my power hour, and like I said, guys, not every single post has to be this long drawn out, thing. You can still do your one-liners. You could still do your sweaty selfie and say, got it in, and that's it, every so often. But when you do stop to pour your heart into something, go to your bank of ideas in your power hour and say, okay, today I'm feeling this. I want to tell this story and tell it right and tell it well. And tell it that it's something that's going to impact the next person. Because I know the day that I go and tell that story about Amy, or that Amy tells it, it's going to impact another mom, and it's going to be a ripple effect. And that's why probably all of us, or I would say all of us, are here tonight, because somebody did something that inspired you to take the leap. So think about that when you go out there and share. All right, so we digress. That is what we wanted to get you guys to do tonight, is to really dig deep and really hear on, you may have touched on something you already know, but like, are you really facing it? Are you really doing it on a consistent basis? Because that's what's going to count, and that's what's going to build that, those exposures constantly coming out, building that trust with your followers, and where you're going to start to see all your efforts, all your hard work come to life. And one more thing I will say about coaching, this is completely off the topic, but guys, if you're a new coach on this call, I want to tell you something that maybe you haven't heard yet. You invested nothing to start this business, right? All of us, if we were smart, we bought a challenge pack, which were our tools, we consumed it, and all we pay on a month-to-month is $15.95 to remain active. That's our overhead. Having a mom that's an entrepreneur, I've seen her open multiple businesses. I've seen what it's taken her, okay? Each time it'd be $50, $75, $100,000 to open up her different businesses. And she would not make that money back until 5, maybe, lucky 5 years later, 7 years later, where she would actually be hitting that profit margin where she paid off the money. She paid off the money. Sorry, I had some notification. She paid off the money that she invested and now is in a profit margin. Here we are with a business, guys. A business that cost us nothing to start. Peanuts to start. And that right off the bat, with helping one person with Shakeology, you're in the plus. You are in the plus, okay? Don't take that lightly. And then the next thing, sorry guys, this rigged light is not working out for me. Don't take that lightly, but also I want to let you in on one other thing. What you are investing in the beginning is your time. That's your investment. You're going to put a lot of time and energy and heart and hustle into your business with these kinds of things, with getting deep, with being on this call tonight, with perfecting your way of communicating and inspiring and empowering people. Like, that's what your investment right now is, time. And you may walk away a month later and say, I haven't quite seen the fruits of my labor for the time I've put in just yet. But I want to tell you guys, look at the long haul, okay? Don't look at this as for 3 months, I'm going to go hard and let's see what happens. No, it's going to take longer than that. Because if you really want, like Gary Vaynerchuk says all the time, if you have the audacity to want to be home with your kids, if you have the audacity to want to have a business that's going to sustain your home, if you have the audacity to want to drink your coffee Monday through Friday on your porch, and wake up when you want and work out when you want and work with a team and all this kinds of stuff, if you have the audacity to want those things, then you need to show up for way more than 3 months, and you got to put in the work. All right. But I don't know about you guys. This stuff is fun. And like I said in the very beginning of the call, the more raw and real you are, the more comfortable you're going to be, because you're not going to be trying to be like anybody else. You're not going to be trying to do something that's outside of who you are. Yeah, you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone for a couple of things, but it's always going to be true and genuine to who you are. And when you can nail that down, you're going to be golden in this business, and you're going to enjoy it, and you're not going to get frustrated or scared with it. You're going to be excited each day when you start to see things come together. All right. So I'll leave it there. I'll get off my soapbox. What we want to do next, and we got 5 minutes. Okay. 5 minutes. I want to pick 2 people. I want you guys to unmute yourselves. I'm just going to randomly pick a name. I swear I have no idea who I'm going to pick. I'm just going to randomly pick a name. And I want you to share a couple of things off your card with us, and pick one of them to tell us how you could share that in a different light when it came to maybe your workout or your Shakeology or your kids. Like, how could you tell that story? How could you weave it in to an average post that we put out as coaches. So, Arlene, you go. You pick the first person, Arlene.
Okay. Wait, and I want to piggyback on what you said. Remember, the idea of the postcard is for you to know what to share with people so that you can make connections. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. When I started putting my brand out there and being myself, I started attracting more coaches onto our team that related with me, and we understand each other. So you're going to attract whatever you post. So if you post something that doesn't relate to you, you're just going to attract people that don't relate to you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And one more thing before we do this activity, be consistent with your posts. Your future clients are not going to trust you if you post today and then you go MIA 2 days and then you post a Shakeology and you disappear, and then you post a motivational quote and you disappear for 2 days. Like, this is part of being a coach, being consistent and showing up every day so that they know that when they start working on their goals, they can trust you, that you're going to be there for them to keep them accountable. Okay?
Yes.
Let me pick a name. Let me see. I don't know.
Dun, dun, dun. This is her idea, by the way. She's a teacher and she likes pop quizzes. So this is all Arlene. If you're hating us right now, it's her fault.
All right. Let's go to, I don't know who to pick.
Pick a random name. Go.
Okay, I'm going. Let me see. Why am I taking this so serious? What's wrong with me?
Choose a victim. Okay. Choose a victim. Go.
I know. I'm going. Okay, because I want to pick someone I don't know, and I keep on seeing people that I know. Okay. C. Walters. Walters.
Shay Walters.
Oh. I'm a little Esau. I'm sorry. I should write about that. I'm a little
For a long time, I called her Shia. Hi, Shay.
I thought I was going to get off the hook by not having my real name up there. I was like, here we go.
All right, Shay. So share a couple things off your card for us. And then pick one and tell us how you could weave it into something that you do on the daily as a coach.
Okay. Well, I have a lot. I wrote a lot. Look at all that.
Good.
That's amazing. Good. That's what my card looked like. Read a couple of us and give us some good and give us some bad.
Okay. So, well, I'm about to get real personal here. I actually suffered from like eating disorders growing up. So that could be something that like this has helped me like break out of that cycle. I hate renting. I hate renting an apartment. I want to own something. So like that's definitely like a goal that this will help me get to as long as I put it in savings and I stop spending it. I'm trying to think. I think one of my favorite things about like what this has done for me, and I haven't really done a good job of sharing that, is the people that I've reconnected with through it. So like people that because I played basketball all through high school and college, and people that I haven't spoken to in years have reached out, and we've like reconnected, and I'm able to talk to these people again. Even like high school girls I played AAU basketball with like travel. I have friends in other countries, which is why it needs to branch out to more countries. Just things like that. So some like deep, serious stuff, and then like just like the light, like getting back in touch with people. It's like something that I need to share more of.
Okay, time out. Because Shay is a Diesel Core coach, okay? And I work closely with Shay and her coach, Anna, and I love these girls. And I did this exercise sort of with Shay one time because she was like, I don't know what to talk about. And all she gave me was that she's a fur mom and she plays basketball. Like, that's all this girl gave me. And I'm like, okay, let's think about this. And you know what? Arlene, we're walking away today like victorious. I'm telling you, because Shay, those are powerful things that you just shared with us. And if you have like 10 times that on your card, then we did a good job here tonight, because those are powerful things. Shay, own it. Mm-hmm. Own it. Even the things that make you cringe, just like Arlene said, they're going to liberate the crap out of you. Mm-hmm. And you're going to give power. You're going to empower the next woman that may have been going through that to release it too, and to like face it and to find a solution like you've been finding. And renting versus buying, like that's huge. That's huge. It's a huge thing. So thank you for being so raw with us. Yeah. I feel I'm going to bed happy tonight. This is good. This is good. Yes. All right. Let me pick the next victim. And then we're going to go on to give you guys homework. Yes, there's homework. Again, we have a teacher on the call. She's giving you guys homework. All right. Next person. Let's see.
Oh, you forgot to call this. This is called the pop quiz.
It is. Yeah, I told them you're the teacher. You called it a pop quiz. All right, let's see. If you're not making eye contact with me, you're asking to get picked. I'm just saying. All right. Suzette, you're on. You there?
Okay. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so I wrote down that I'm a perfectionist, that I have OCD, that I am a product of divorced parents. I wrote down that, gosh, this is hard. Emotions are like everywhere.
Yeah.
I have dealt pretty much all my life with my brother who is a recovering addict. So that just struck me now hard. Let's see. I dislike my stretch marks. I love being married. I die for cookies. I came up with a bunch of ideas. I think that I could turn this around in other stories by just getting creative. But I think, and I just want to say this because maybe you could help me. I struggle with the fact that I've always been a stay-at-home mom. So it's hard for me to say, well, because of Beachbody, now I have this. No, I've always had this life since I got married. So I struggle with coming up with stories of, thanks to Beachbody, I have this. I've only been doing this for 7 months. So I could talk a lot about my transformation, but I get stuck with that area.
Okay, well, I'm going to jump in because I've always told her that she should switch to my team because her and I have more in common than Christina. So I don't know how Christina feels her, but I want to steal her. She's a cookie monster like me, okay? Cookie monster like me. She loves nautical. She loves pink. She loves her kids. She's like super like, ah! And I'm like, I want her. Like, Christina doesn't need her. She already has me. Why have two of me?
How about I take both of you guys and let's just go. Let's go.
Okay. Share about the cookies for sure. I'm always sharing about that I'm a cookie monster. No shame. I love my cookies. For sure. Keep on sharing about your fashion. Like I always notice your fashion, and that's why I feel like that connection with you because you're always sharing like your little monogram things and your chevron and your pretty nautical outfits. So for sure, your fashion style, and you even put outfit of the days and the matching beach bag. Like I stalk you. I know, right? Keep on sharing that because someone out there with that fashion sense is going to get attracted to you. Or if they don't have fashion sense, they're going to want to ask you, like, where did you buy this? I wish I knew how to dress like that. So that part you're doing amazing. That you love your kids and you love being married, you're doing phenomenal because you're always posting about that. That you're OCD, post about that. Like maybe show us like how OCD those pencils behind you are. And they're in that little box. No, those are things to share. As far as the Beachbody life, it's funny you say that, and I think you should start following. I don't know if you already follow her, Kim Lima.
No.
Okay, follow her because she could stay. She was able to stay at home. Her husband was the money man. She didn't have to worry about anything. But guess what? It was when I don't know about you, but I'm just gonna think generic. When you're a stay-at-home mom, there's certain sacrifices you have to do to be able to have the lifestyle that you live as a stay-at-home mom. I'm not saying you, I'm saying overall.
Right.
And for her, she racked up like I don't know how many thousands of dollars on credit cards because she would shop behind his back.
Yes.
How did she get into Beachbody? She had to pay off that debt without her husband now. So now she shares about it like, oh, like, yeah, I'm fabulous. I paid off my credit cards. But for a while, she had to do this behind his back and pay off that debt to not get caught up with it. So you can say, yes, I've always had the luxury of being a stay-at-home mom, but now I get to go to Target and I don't have to hide from my husband. And get your husband on board. Even if that's not true, be like, babe, I need to put this, okay? You have to be part. Like sometimes I put things, I'm like, babe, nobody needs to know. That's the story we're going with. Just okay. So maybe you could say that for a long time, you felt like you weren't contributing to your house. Like, yes, the house was clean and the clothes was ironed and the groceries were done, but you always felt like a piece of you wanted to contribute because you would see your husband getting home from work feeling stressed, and he would stress sometimes how the bills were going to get paid because certain things didn't go through at work. Like, get deep with that. Talk to him, have that communication with him, be like, listen, this is what's going to help my business. Like, You don't have to share everything, but just get creative with that part that you've always wanted to contribute, but you didn't want to leave your kids. You didn't want to stop being a housewife, but you wanted to contribute. And this has given you the opportunity to do both.
Good idea.
Yeah, like what I was going to say about that, flip it around. I mean, what does it make you feel like? When you get your paychecks, what do you feel?
I feel great because I do feel like if I'm contributing, that's exactly. And I feel like if I'm being productive too.
Yes, right about that. No.
Go with that. It doesn't have to necessarily mean, okay, what your husband brings in, whether it even counts for bills in the house or whether he can sustain the house or not. What does it do for you?
Right.
How do you feel? You feel, I feel accomplished. I feel like I'm doing my part. I feel like I'm contributing. I feel like if I don't have to say no to my kids when I don't want, if they want to do extracurricular activities, like we don't ever have to think twice about certain things, before we did. So just dig deeper into what does it make you feel like and share that. It's enough. It's enough. You don't have to create something that's not there. It's enough to be who you are. It really is. So I just urge you, don't compare the next person's story and make it yours, okay? It doesn't have to be that way. Find in your story why it's great. Why it's great. Because there is something great in everybody's story, even if you see it boring right now. So that's the 2 cents I would give you. All right, so I think we're over. Yeah, we're almost 10 minutes over. Let me give you guys the homework for tonight. And this is actually going to be fun. Hold on, let me screen share. Now, guys, if you're not good at using apps and making collages, please do not get overwhelmed with this project. It's something simple. You could even draw it out on a piece of paper if you want. But what we want you guys to do in the next couple of days, and please post these on your team pages, okay? So whether you belong to Arlene's team or you belong to Diesel Core or you belong, or even in Diesel Nation, for God's sake, we could all share it there and just share and, inspire someone to do this for themselves. I want you guys to make this collage for yourself where you say, meet Arlene, meet Suzette, meet Shay, and everything that's on your card, write it down. Put it there for yourself to see, okay? And then next to that, I was saying, I want you to ask yourself, do my actions each and every day match my goals? That's a powerful sentence there. That's a powerful question. Do your actions each day match all the things that you are and what you want? Okay? And below that, you're going to put your why. And your why should be one powerful sentence or two. It could be 2 sentences long. It's not this long, drawn out thing. Each and every one of you guys, maybe you haven't taken the time to nail it down, but you have one reason, one thing that encompasses why you're here today, why you want this so bad, why you go hella high waters to make this happen for yourself and for your family. There's a reason why. And I know it's on your card today. Nail down in a sentence or 2 and put it at the bottom of yours. Okay? If your why is super, super personal and you don't want anybody to see it, you can leave that part out. But what I do want to see is what's on your card. I want you to have that. Do my actions match my goals? Okay? I want to see those things because I want you guys to start. Listen, these visuals are going to help you because you're going to stare at it every single day. It's going to be next to whatever, your computer and your home desk that you have in your home office, or even if it's on your phone and it's the wallpaper of your phone when you turn your phone on, whatever it is, I want it to be in your face. And I don't want you to forget it. And I want you to constantly be reminded that who you are is your value. It's not Shakeology. It's not the workout programs. It's not your coach. It's you. It's you, and what you have inside of you is enough. It's so enough. You don't have to go and look for things that are, that you think that you're not good enough, or look at the next person and compare yourself. You've got it in you. So let's dig into this homework, guys. I know you guys can come up. I'm sure there's some powerful stuff because we just picked on 2 random people, and we had tears on one, and the other one that went really deep. Things that it took me forever to get out of her. Shoot. I know you guys have some powerful stuff in your cards. Let's use it and leverage it and get out there and change lives. Your story has the ability to change the next person's life. So that's all I've got. Anything else you want to say, Arlene?
Just do it. Just go out there and be proud of who you are. And the moment that you're proud of who you are and you share your story, you're going to attract more people. You're not selling yourself, but you're sharing with people how you can help them by being yourself. Like, you're not a robot. You're not a salesperson. You're not a customer service rep. You are the coach that's going to change their life, and you're going to have that connection and that bond to get them there.
Yes. All right. So one last thing. Let's take a picture, guys. You know, I love pictures. I want you to hold up your index card. Hold up your index card and keep saying cheese, because we've got like 4 pages long of people, and I want to make sure I get everybody in it. So hold up your card and say cheese. 1 down. 2 down. Oh, those people that logged off early lost out on our picture. All right, guys, that is all. I'm going to stop the recording right now.